All right, so we are going to cover in this video food truck businesses in California. Yes, how to get a food truck started in California. So what permits do I need for a food truck in California? Food truck business license in California, and a handful of other steps to help you succeed in starting your food truck business. And this is Marketing Food Online, and we're going to do this right now. All right, so welcome back. It is Damien from Marketing Food Online. So I got a handful of questions specifically from the state of California. Some of our subscribers who are food truck entrepreneurs or just getting started, they had a handful of questions about food truck business licensing in California. What kind of a permit would I need, Damien? What kind of specific things do I need to have inspected on my food truck? So I'm going to go through a handful of things to help you get started. This won't be an all-inclusive list. There is a handful of other things that you need to double check on, but at least you'll have a great understanding of the base understanding of how to get a food truck started and what kind of things you need to get done from the legal perspective, the business side, and actually buying the truck. So let's hop right into it. And as always, this is your first video. Welcome to Marketing Food Online. This is YouTube's premier food entrepreneur channel with over 1,000 videos for food entrepreneurs to help you get your food business started from home, get a food truck up and running, or create a packaged food product, or even e-commerce. So let's dive into these questions and figure out how to actually start a food truck business in California. So number one, as always, the most important aspect, and this was something I didn't do when I first started my Italian bakery a few years back, actually about 12 years ago, and it was something that's really important, and I kind of kicked myself for not doing it, but making a business plan. So number one, make a business plan for your food truck, okay? A detailed business plan for your food truck is required just as it is for any other company enterprise, okay? A business plan will assist you in mapping out your company's path. The following are crucial information to include in your business plan when you begin to write it. So let's get into that. A description of the company. This describes your business idea, the industry in which it operates, and the current state of the future prospects as well. So as well as the markets and industries that may have a direct impact specifically on your company being a food truck. Okay. Market research and planning. So you want to analyze your industry's market, including your target market and your competitors in the area that you wish to be in. Also include a description of your marketing approach. This is super important as well. Management and organization. This is the next section. So this is going to be where the area that you're going to make a business organization chart that lists all of your staff major tasks, including your own, even though you are the owner of the food truck. Product description. So explain your products and services and manufacturing method. How are you going to produce your food products on the truck itself? Have it outlined. And you want to figure out as well as the cost of the manufacturer and the selling price. So whatever it is that your ingredients, if you're sourcing them locally for your food truck for different events, make sure that you understand the cost to actually get them to your location, if it happens to be a commercial kitchen. And also, what is the selling price? What is your menu going to be consisting of as far as the retail price points for these items? Next up, expenses and capitalization. All right, determine how much money you will need to actually get your food truck off the ground. Describe your finance intentions, and if you want a loan, the amount you require specifically that you're going to ask for. Financial projections. This is a bit tricky, and this is something that was really difficult when I first started in our Italian bakery because of the area that we were in. It was really difficult to figure out how much I was actually going to sell. Okay, and we actually eventually, about a year or two into it, if I'm not mistaken, we did put together a business plan. Then we approached some banks, and we got a lot of thumbs up about the idea, but no one invested because our financial projections were less than what we thought we could do. And this is where it's really tricky. So you want to include a breakdown of your anticipated costs, okay, such as the cost of the food truck, cooking equipment that you might need, kitchen supplies, employee payroll, and marketing. Analyze potential earnings and or your losses also over the first 3 to 5 years at the very least. Now, this may seem a little extreme to say 5 years for running a food truck. You want to kind of project, and the idea is if you even have to research online to find out what do food trucks potentially make in the first couple of years, this will be a good indication to kind of direct you, okay? And the things that you want to talk about is you want to explain the return on the investment to your investors once you get a loan. How exactly are you going to pay them back? At what percentage or what interest and what kind of rate? So how those loans will be repaid are very, very important as well. Number 2, you got to do your homework. You got to research. You got to look for your food truck, do some research on potential hotspots and events in your area. Now, California, of course, is a very outdoorsy kind of place, obviously. My brother actually lives just south of LA, and they always do things outside. So you want to find out whether there are any local restrictions or rules or regulations that could make it difficult for you to run that business, okay? Number 3, register your company. Now, obviously, to get your food truck off the ground, this is obviously a legality thing that has to be done. You must first register your company. This is a crucial need for obtaining loans if you're going to get vendor licensing, funding, etc. And as a food truck owner, you will be exposed to a variety of different liabilities. So choose the correct business organization carefully. A limited liability, which is known as an LLC, is a popular choice for many small entrepreneurs. Your personal assets will be safeguarded, though. That's the good thing about this type of business formation. From any business debts, insurance claims, if you set up your food truck business as an LLC, that's the type of protection you'll get. Now, keep in mind that in order to construct a company credit profile, you'll need to open a business bank account. Don't just do it under your own personal account, please. I actually did that when we first started. That was not a good thing. Business bank account is definitely something you need to do for your food truck. Number 4, locate potential investors. Now, although running a food truck business is less expensive than running a traditional restaurant, brick and mortar restaurant, right? The beginning cost might be substantial just to get you off the ground. If you put together a business plan, your financial predictions will help you figure out how much you will need in order for you to get the food truck up and running. So before you obtain the loan or any type of investing in your food truck business, most lenders will and investors will want your business plan. So you got to definitely put your nose to the grindstone and just get it done. Now, however, if you require any additional funding, the easiest place to begin is by launching one of those crowdfunding campaigns to solicit donations from family and friends and those around you who would actually help you support you and get this up and running. They're pretty much more likely than anyone else to provide you any interest-free loans, and it's a great way to raise funds quick. Here are some other funding alternatives for any aspiring food truck entrepreneur. Now, these will vary. Number 1, investors. Check to see if your business plan is complete. Make a pitch to the potential investors about your business idea. Explain the techniques you'd used in order to pull it off and kind of persuade them, in a sense, to invest in your food truck company. Some food truck providers may be able to provide you with a loan to actually help you purchase it, believe it or not, if you're buying it from either a used food truck website or even some of these custom building websites. If you're having one made, they even have loans available for that as well. Now, if you don't qualify for conventional financing, the California Small Business Loan Guarantee Program is a suitable choice for your small business in the state of California when you want to start a food truck. So basically, you'll be able to obtain loans from financial organizations as a result of this program, which is a huge help when you're just getting started. Now, if you have a strong credit score and you routinely pay your bills on time, a personal loan or even a business credit card may actually be an excellent alternative for you. Okay? Number 5, rent a business space and a food truck. It is time to get your food truck now that you've secured the necessary funding. You got to get that truck. The price of the truck will vary, of course, depending upon whether you're going to rent it or buy one, and of course the age of it, if it's used or if it's new. So if you're on a tight budget, a food truck leasing plan is actually a better option than buying a new truck, because you can literally rent a food truck with all of the necessary equipment, and you may be able to buy the truck at the conclusion or the end of the lease term if you choose certain leasing alternatives, okay? However, there are a few measures you must follow before signing on the dotted line when it comes to renting or leasing a food truck. All of the equipment on your food truck must be approved by what's known as the American National Standards Institute, okay? According to California food truck licensing rules, before you rent or buy a food truck, make sure you have a specialist from the health department look over your plans. This is really crucial. You will be more prepared for a certification procedure if you do this, okay? So next up, make a contract with the vendor that specifies how the car and equipment will be financed and or how long, as well as who will be responsible for any damages. Actually, I said car, I meant the food truck. Sorry about that. So for example, the contract terms may hold you liable for any delivery expenses or losses that are incurred as a result of the food truck accident during a delivery of some kind. So keep that in mind. If you do get into an accident, this could potentially happen. So it's a good thing to hire a lawyer to go over the details of your agreement with you specifically, and every contract, of course, varies, so you want to make sure that you are covered in the contract, okay? According to California food truck licensing requirements, all mobile food sellers must work in conjunction with a licensed commercial kitchen. So this is where you need to find one where your specific food truck will be a part of that commercial kitchen. So you will need to rent a commercial kitchen if you don't have one to make your food and store it. That's another thing to think about, is the storing of the food too. A lot of food truck vendors, when they first start, don't realize the importance of having space for storage. You must also find a parking spot for the food truck, obviously. So when it's not in use, all food trucks in California must be parked in a designated food facility. Okay, so that's something you need to keep in mind if you haven't thought of it. Obtain the appropriate permits, licenses for operation. This is number 6. So several licenses and permits are required to operate a food truck. Keep in mind that requirements differ by place, so double check with officials in your area. You will need the following items. Number 1, identification number for tax purposes. So you obtain a business license as well. Trademark for any company, trademarks or logos, things that you want to have trademarked that's going to be part of your brand. That's something that a lot of new food truck operators don't think about. Registered business address, that is not a P.O. box. So you can't, in the state of California, use a P.O. box as a business address. Now, permit for health. The health department permit you'll have as well. A permit for a mobile food facility. Food safety certification. So according to California law, the food truck's owner or an employee must pass a state-approved food safety certification exam. So these exams basically are similar like ServSafe, where you need to understand how to handle food, properly cook it, store it, if you're reheating it up, preparing it, serving it. These classes are pretty extensive as far as what you need to know, so you definitely want to keep that in mind as well. Permit for food handlers as well. You're going to need insurance for workers' compensation. So if you're going to be hiring a staff, you've got to have that available as well. Number 7, get insurance for the food truck. Okay, so liability lawsuits have the potential to drive your company out of business really fast. So you want to protect your business. You'll need to buy food truck insurance, which is ultra important, obviously. Your vehicle, your staff, your equipment, your business disruption, if that happens, the food and the services should all be covered under this commercial insurance policy. Okay, so I won't get too far specifically into policies. I'm not in the insurance business. I'm not an insurance agent, but these are some outlines of what you need to know in order for you to contact them and be aware of what you may need to have covered. Okay, it should also cover claims for bodily injury, personal injury, and even property damage resulting from the food truck incidents, if that happens at all. Okay, hopefully it doesn't. Number 8, get your food truck ready to go. Now, other items to consider in advance of your official business launch date are the following. Number 1, you want to consider both traditional and digital marketing methods. When it comes to marketing, your food truck can also be used as a form of advertising itself. So make sure you get a really vibrant, amazing wrap. The food truck wraps have a big difference between you being seen at an event or the guy next to you being seen at an event. So it's going to have to stand out and help you advertise. As a result, you should choose your food truck's name and design carefully. Think it over, don't rush into this, okay? Make sure that your food truck's exterior complies with also California's signage regulations. Believe it or not, they do. The state of California has regulations about how the food truck can look on the external. So keep that in mind as well. And then lastly, you want to make sure you have a POS system, that you have the ability to accept all forms of payment. Cash is one of them, yes, but you want to make sure for convenience purposes, your POS system allows for debit credit cards as well, debit transactions and credit card. Now, I know that it costs money for those transactions, but the convenience factor will be a huge part of the amount of money you're going to make at an event. If you limit it to just cash, you're going to have a lot of people walking away from your truck, I can guarantee you. We actually had, when we opened the Italian bakery, same scenario. We wanted to make sure we captured everybody that came in. I didn't want just cash. For the convenience factor, it's ultra important. Okay? Now, that is the gist of the outline of the handful of really important things to think about when you start your food truck in California. Now, I'm going to put some other additional resources to help you guys out down in the description. Anything in there that helps you is going to be related to the state of California as far as food truck information and resources. Take a look at that. We want to help you out as much as we can. And if this video was helpful as always, please do give me a big thumbs up. We appreciate your support. And I will see you guys on our next food truck video.